Yeah. Morning. Okay, so we're up to Siman Gimel, Sif Yud Gimel. Lo Yashtin Mu'umat. So we're just finishing off today the halachos of going to the bathroom. Lo Yashtin Mu'umat. The person shouldn't be mashtin, shouldn't urinate standing up. Because of the spray that would go on his feet. Lo Shiyam is Mokum Kavaya. Unless he's standing in a tall place, in a very high up place, where there's no concern that the Meiraglaim is going to go on his feet, or he's gonna the Meiraglaim will fall onto soft ground. Pirush karka she'ina besula. No, it's not hard ground. Like a plowed field where it's soft ground. So again, we're talking about a situation where there's a concern that the Meiraglaim will go sometimes on his feet or something like that. So what's the problem? So it says the Mishnah Berurah, Sivkot and Chaf Gimel, Al Raglov, the Yoimru Shel Krushivcha. They'll say about this person that his Krushivcha, which has got some sort of medical problem, She'en Meiraglov Makalchin, that the Meiraglaim won't come out properly and the Shaisin will sort of just drip out, or Krushivcha Eina Meilid, and a Krushivcha is not able to have children. The Yoimru Rabbanov She'enim Shalei. And people will start rumors that his children are his children because this person is not able to have children. Unless, says Mishnah Berurah, if he's not able to go to the bathroom in a high place, etc., or the examples that the Mechaber gives, if he can't sit down in the bathroom, and that's to avoid the sort of the spray, there's another eight that he can do, i.e. he can touch him his private parts, he can just direct, he won't cause any spray or anything like that, or either with him or with a cloth or something like that. If it does happen that there's some sort of spray on his legs, then mitzvah l'shasham, it's a mitzvah to rub them. The interesting, nowadays it's a slightly different story, and there's much less of a concern about these sort of things. You're going to the bathroom, and there's much less of a concern. And also, the poskim say that, generally speaking, the Gemara's concern was talking about a situation where they wore clothes which were different. They wore long robes, and their legs were exposed, and therefore you could see the Meiraglaim on your legs, and therefore it was more of a concern. So the Metzias has somewhat changed a little bit, but anyway, that's what the Halach says. It says, Sif Yudalet, when a person is going to the bathroom, he should not touch the private parts, in lo me'ator ulamata, from the crown down, because he could be moitzi shechvazer levatala, and kenu nosu, unless he's married. We'll see what that means. Or midas chasidus dezoach filu benosu. And midas chasidus is even if it's nosui, you should avoid touching those parts. Says the Mishnah Berurah. Yud dalet olamata filim ha'eved ha'ever the kishri muta me'ator lamata. Even if it's in a state of kishri, then it'll be muta. Mipnei me'ator lamata. Chavav mipnei shemoitzi rotzalei masha. L'dei negiyosei bagid, by touching himself, l'dei chimum v'hiru. That could create a warmth or arousal v'yodel, and then it could come to Shechva Zera. And the severity of this particular Issa is set out in Evan Oezer Siman Chaf Gimel. Hunosui. But if the person is married, then he has pas pasale, literally bread in his basket. That's the literal translation. Ve'in yitzra take for kol kach. Ve'im hi nida oishehu baderech osa. But if the wife is a nida or away out of town, then he reverts and it's going to be awesome. It's only a heta for when he's actually going to the bathroom, but otherwise he should avoid touching those parts. If he's in a situation where he's standing on a mountain edge or something like that, where there's other concerns, he's sort of worried, then we're not worried anyway, because we're not worried about Yitzra Tokfei. Okay, Halacha Tezvav. Afilu Misha in and also mutar l'sayeh bebeitzim. Says the Mishnah Berurah, he can direct his Meiraglaim. She'ena mischamim al yidei kach touching the beitzim is not going to be mischam, is not going to have the same concern of yitzur teikvei. But if amin mutar lechus ba'amar lahashtin, sometimes you can actually touch the amar itself, the gid itself, kagoyin adei matlis over she'ena mechamim, through some sort of thick material that's not going to create any warmth. But a thin material would be also. It's very difficult to know what's the difference between a thick and a thin material. Okay, Tezayin. The whole heter is just is when it comes to miraglaim, but to scratch or anything, then it's not allowed. Says the Mishnah Berurah, maybe they chimum, that could create warmth. For bekal yoved they shichvazera, the same concern. But ein b'chay adam shemata ali they beged of that scratching through material is okay. Mutzer lisra zokan atachton to touch. Actually, the zokin tachton is a way of saying the pubic hairs. Actually, yiga ba'amar b'yodei, but not to touch the actual gid, the actual aver itself. Ein b'halacha. The halacha just says that it's mutter to touch the hairs, the legara me'alidei matlis over, because it's no different to a thick cloth, and therefore it's also indirect. You're not actually touching the armor. That's why it would be okay. All right, halacha yud zayin, the last one of this simon, and then we'll leave it at this. Hamash and nekevov. This is quite a common shaila. Hamash and nekevov. If someone holds back from going to the bathroom, over mishum bal tashaksu. It's over an issa deraisa of bal tashaksu. Says Mishnah Berurah, the imasha atzma lekatanim. If he's holding back from katanim, from urinating, over mishum bal tashaksu. He is over the issa of bal tashaksu. Mishum lo yeh okar. It's dangerous. A person could medically endanger himself, and not only is he over bal tashaksu, he could be over lo yeh okar to make himself sterile, unable to have children. If a person holds back from passing wind, eina over al bal tashaksu, that is not an issa of bal tashaksu. And furthermore, gam ha'issa bal tashaksu nitche mipnei kavod habrius. That is an important halacha, that this issa of bal tashaksu is pushed aside because of kavod habrius. We'll see in the footnotes in a minute a few more details about that. Kagoin hameshayin the kavod. If someone holds back from going to the bathroom, he can find a quiet place, so you can go to a nearby house or shul to use the bathroom there, rather than going, in a place which is going to be embarrassing. That is allowed. The person's got to be very careful to wipe himself after the bathroom properly. Because even a small amount of tsoya can make some iron bob sifheim. It is important to wash himself properly, so there should be no problems in that respect. So just a couple of interesting ha'aras in the footnotes of the Dirshu. Number 16 is interesting. And what is the get there of holding of needs in the bathroom, being over bal tashaksu? So he says in number 16, in the cave of Golker, you don't need the bathroom so much. But in a margish there's a sort of a mild feeling you need the bathroom. So we say later on in Hilchos Tefillah, this comes up, that you're not over bal tashaksu. But for Geder Hadovar, and regarding the sort of the actual definition, he says as follows: if you think about something else, you do something else, you're going to sort of forget that feeling. Then both of these lavim go away. Well, the Sefer Uchos Rabbeinu, he brings from the Stipler, it's just something not nice. You should go, even if you've got a mild feeling to go, you should go, but you're not over the lavim. Regarding learning and davening, so he says in the next paragraph, within Issa Amiras Tivei Torah, Kriyishma and Brachas, Lefisha Nitzrach in the cave of Kosovo Lekawan, Shenoig B'chomi She'ini Yochel Lahamad Atzmei Ad Parsa. If you can't walk Ad Parsa 72 minutes, Afilu She'ini Misavik Kolkach B'Shir Sheyesh B'Mishum Issa Bal Tashaksu. Omnam Misha is Damna Lefan of Bracha. He's going to lose the opportunity of making the bracha. Then the Achronim argue about that, and Yochel Lahamid is asking for the Shir Parsa, Rei Mashi Kosovo Lekawan. Okay, that we'll get to in some place. Now, it says, look at interesting footnote number 19. He said, Kavod Habrius pushes aside the Issa of Bal Tashaksu. But Be'inyan Hetze Kavod Habrius, the Mokum Issa Drabonon, Mashman Lekaman, Shenoig Afilu B'Ofen Sheish B'Zeh, Ele Gnai Kotten B'Vad. It doesn't have to be a big thing, even if it's a very small embarrassment. That is enough. Kavod Habrius doesn't have to be a big thing, even for a small thing. Number 20, but a person's, let's say you're giving a share, or you're speaking in public, or there's something like that, then and the person in the middle needs the bathroom. So to see how does that work? So is the Baal Tishak, so it's Nisudarai, so then covered up Brias. So what's the story? So then he says the example he gives is you're allowed to be concerned with covered up Brias, and that overrides Baal Tishak. He says Afilu Lukadoinen. You're allowed to hold back to protect covered up Brias. What about tefillah? You're diving for the omelet, and in the middle, suddenly, you need the bathroom. So he says in the next paragraph, Mishin Misfala Batzibur, that it's pressing, you need the bathroom. If you're able to hold out until you finish the davening, then you shouldn't interrupt because of covered abrius. Next paragraph, you're even allowed to begin davening to take for the omelet. And just one more footnote. What if you get an aliyah, and as you go up to the aliyah, you suddenly feel you need the bathroom? He brings the halacha then, if they cover the abrius, so you're allowed to continue. If you're a Golker or Golker, then you're allowed to actually continue laning. One final thing, just interesting point. He says at the end, the last word of the Mishnah Berurah was, it's important to maintain good hygiene and to wash yourself properly. There's no tsoya whatsoever. So he quotes the last notes at the end of the 22, B'Shem Khan Kanievsky, that Shekiyom nowadays, we've got proper toilet paper. That's considered tantamount to washing with water. Just one final hara. Someone told me very interesting. We've now finished the halachos of the bathroom. Tomorrow we'll discuss the halachos and Shemini, which are very relevant. But one final thing, someone told me that they asked for Zimim against the drug. But nowadays the halachos of kinuach, of wiping with the left hand, not with the right hand, because that's the hand that you're putting the tefillin on. You're wrapping your tefillin with, and therefore you should wipe with your left hand. Does it apply nowadays? Because the whole bathroom setup is very different. So he said that it doesn't apply nowadays. And this halacha, which is there, and I saw later in Poskim, I think the Dirshu notes or perhaps the Piskei Teshuvos, he brings the Poskim that say that because nowadays the whole system, in those days they would wipe with stones and things like that. It's easy to get your hands dirty, but nowadays it's changed, and therefore perhaps these halacha can apply. Say that.
Sure.
Okay.